Hello, I'm Sasa Moilanen, co-founder and CEO of Joint. And today the topic is to discuss AI native SaaS and especially a vertical SaaS versus horizontal SaaS. And I'm going to use as an example Joint's own product, retail and restaurant analytics product, which is currently utilizing a lot of Gen AI related capabilities. So when we talk about the actual specifics of how we are using Gen AI, it's now mainly around the challenge of text to SQL. So being able to provide business users a chance to use natural language to actually query their data and create reports from that data. So in our case, we have an AI-powered data analyst called Zed that I can launch in the user interface and start asking questions from my data. So I could, for example, in this case, be an end user interested in our sales per working hour metric. So maybe without tax in this case, and I'm interested in seeing it by store and, for example, for last week. And what Zed does here, it starts interpreting this natural language query. And for example, it tries to parse from this natural language query what is the correct metric, like here, sales per working hour without tax is correctly interpreted as being the sales, no value added tax per working hour metric. And now it has grouped my data by different stores. And it also gives here the kind of quick top three overview of that metric performance in the different stores. But now when we start thinking about what makes like a vertical AI native SaaS different from horizontal products, that's where I would say that the devil is in the details. So when we think about, for example, retail and restaurant businesses, they are pretty used to all kind of like a dynamic time selections and comparisons that are actually quite challenging to really get right by the large language models and the different kind of agents utilizing different kind of tools. So if I want to add something like add comparisons uh, against previous year and budget, for example, uh, this is kind of the area where things start to get really challenging if you're trying to provide like a generic text to SQL solution, because really being able to correctly like define things like on the previous year corresponding period, the same week number actually started like 19th of February, whereas this year it started on the 17th, and get also, for example, the budget comparisons correctly in this kind of view and so on, is something that these current horizontal text to SQL tools really struggle. So just have to check if demos from the big players like Snowflake or Databricks or Microsoft, and you can see that the kind of most complex things they can achieve in a demo is like have something like a store month sales, three columns kind of table, and then play around with that. And then things look like they work okay. But try creating something like a last week and compare against previous year corresponding period and budget at the same time. And would be nice to see how they manage that. But yeah, that's one of the key things about currently the value of building vertical AI native solutions is that you can really scope your product into supporting those selected verticals, like in our case, retail and restaurant. You can have a solution that takes care of the semantic metadata layer issue. So you have all the metric definitions, like in our case, selected and defined correctly. All the time selections and comparisons work okay, and so on. So that's kind of the beauty of AI native vertical SaaS that you can take something into use and it just works, and you don't have to do a huge like IT project where you start defining the semantic metadata layers for your specific business and so on.